My melanin is tingling, y'all. So I'm going to lay this one out, how it played out for me. The other day I was scrolling and I see this. It happened in Baltimore, Maryland, right? And I'm like, they didn't really have no information really about the situation or anything. And then somebody sent it to me in my DMs. You know, and I responded back to him and I was like, you know what? They're going to cover this up. And so I'm just like, you know, I'm just watching, right? Then I'm scrolling on my timeline and I see this story.
Right now in the search for a missing mother and grandmother in Baltimore County. Fox 45 has learned that she's related to a man who committed suicide in the city this week. Police believe.
So instantly, I'm like, suicide. I wonder if they're talking about that guy they found hanging in the park.
Foul play is involved in Charla Melvin's disappearance over the weekend. Shelley Orman is live right now with the latest on the search and the investigation. Shelley?
Yeah, when I spoke with her family today, they say that they hope that her disappearance is not at all related to her cousin's suicide earlier this week. But Baltimore police issuing a public plea this week for help from the community to find her. It has now been 6 long days since Charla Melvin's loved ones have talked to her.
This is very unusual for her.
Yesterday, her distraught family members teamed up with police in her Milford Mill neighborhood. Officers are trying to figure out what led to her disappearance and where the 50-year-old may be.
We know my mom's patterns and her habits and things, so some things just don't make sense. They don't add up.
Based on the circumstances in this case, we believe that foul play is involved.
Police are not revealing why they suspect foul play. Her daughter says Melvin is first cousins and was best friends with the man who was found dead in Easterwood Park across from a school early Tuesday morning. Baltimore City Police identify that man as 55-year-old Thomas Davis. They're investigating his death as a suicide. Melvin's family says this has been an overwhelming week.
I feel kind of numb to it. I'm very, lost.
While she was last seen Saturday morning at her home in Milford Mill, her car, a 2017 Hyundai Santa Fe, was last known to be in West Baltimore. Police are looking for it, too.
We want to get the community involved because, we have so many sets of eyes in the communities out there in the neighborhood every day, and we're just really requesting as much help as possible.
Now, police say Melvin is considered critically missing because she does have some minor health issues. Now, if you know anything about her disappearance, you are being asked to contact Baltimore County Police. Kai?
And Shelley, I just heard Baltimore County Police Chief Melissa Hyatt say that they could use the public's help. Where are police encouraging people to look for Charla?
I asked them that, and with her carving found in the city, with her living in the county in Milford Mill, they said anybody who could see this story anywhere in our viewing area in Maryland being asked to let them know if they know where she is.
Thank you. Shelley Orman reporting live. Thank you, Shelley.
Trauma and anger after a body is discovered hanging near a Baltimore school. Residents fault the police, schools, and media for their response to a man's body is found near Carver Vocational Technical High School. Police say the person died by suicide. Social media in Baltimore was ablaze on Monday with rumor, eyewitnesses' accounts, and grisly photos of the body of an African-American man found that morning hanging at a park across the street from Carver Vocational Technical School. At midday, Carsonia K. Wise Whitehead received a call from a listener asking if she would be discussing the children's exposure to this disturbing sight on her WEAA afternoon radio talk show. Looking for online or mainstream media verification, Whitehead could not find a word about it on newspaper and television websites. Finally, after calling city school police and getting confirmation that a body had indeed been found hanging at Easterwood Park in West Baltimore, she went with the story. The phone lines exploded, she said. People started reading out the text from their children, their nephews, saying that they had seen it. Do you see the psychological warfare this shit is? Yo, I didn't even realize it was this deep. I didn't realize that was a school. It didn't hit me that it was a school. But see, this is when I know for sure that the ancestors are leading me, because this rabbit trail, I just so happened to just stumble on this. And that's not stumbling. They are bringing this stuff to me. This is a story that needs to be told, and yet it seems it's being swept under the rug, Whitehead said. We want to talk about the trauma children experience every day in this city. Well, here it is. Finger pointing. Asked about the incident, a Baltimore police spokeswoman verified that there had been a report Monday of a body found in the 1500 block of Bensalou Street, and police believes it was an apparent suicide. I told y'all before Remember when they were trying to get those lynching laws passed? And I was like, why? All the lynchings, they call them suicide. So what we need a law on the books for? Who is that lynching law really for? Okay. But police have identified the person whose body was found there as Thomas Davis, 55. Now, me reading this today, understand that missing woman, this is her cousin. Okay. But Detective Nicole Monroe responded with heat to the suggestion that children had seen it. Some people had started a rumor about that, trying to gin up controversy, she said. School police came about 7:03 a.m. and were able to cover it up. The children hadn't even arrived. Pressed, Monroe said she had no evidence that students saw it. For details on how the incident had been handled and where the body had been found, accounts variously described it as hanging on a fence from a basketball rim. Shit. If this isn't a fucking message, I mean, do they need a horse in your bed? Like, a horse's head in your bed? Like, I don't understand. Message. She referred the brew to City Schools Police Chief Akil Ham. I'm not aware of our officers being the first at the scene, Ham said when he reached today. I was made aware of it by police, he added, referring a reporter back to the BPD. I guess that's Baltimore Police Department. Similarly, school officials said in an emailed statement that questions about the incident and investigation should be directed to Baltimore Police Department. But it happened on school grounds. In response to police activity in the park across the street from Carver, school staff and school police were at Carver providing support to students throughout the day. City school spokesperson Arizo Rahamani said that police say no children saw the body. Both Whitehead and Marvin L. Doc Chiatham had essentially the same response. These folks lie rather than admit they dropped the ball, said Chiatham, president of Matthew A. Henson Neighborhood Association. Chiatham said he has spoken with many eyewitnesses, including an across-the-street neighbor who described in detail seeing the uncovered body and children taking cell phone pictures of it. Chiatham said BPD never contacted him or other area neighborhood associations to alert them to what had happened, and at first failed to return his phone call. It was very disturbing. You got all kinds of rumors that it was done by gangs, drug dealers, who knows? Gangs in white sheets, drug dealers. Oh, you mean like the drug dealer that was in New Jersey with the how to keep a nigga enslaved manual? I forgot how to fuck that with the exact but that's basically what it was. How to keep a nigga enslaved manual in his car? You mean drug dealers like that? Don't try to put this on black people. Ever in your life. Don't. You know who did this. Who are these people? Fucking lying. There should have been communication with us. This was disrespectful. Disrespectful? He emails a complaint to everybody in this situation is in fucking denial. He emailed a complaint to BPD yesterday. He said, request that Police Commissioner Michael Harrison, the Western District Commander Joe Webb, answer questions about the incident at his group's next community meeting. Shit. You need somebody else at this community meeting. You need somebody that's going to ask the real questions, that's going to really hold these people accountable, because these people soft shoeing around talking about it could be gangs and drugs. And get the fuck out of here. It was a failure of local media too, Chiatham added, noting that he called all the local television stations who already knew about the incident but hadn't covered it. No shit, Sherlock. They're sweeping this shit under the rug. The police, the fire department, the medical examiner's office, the media, everyone seemed to know about it except for the communities directly affected about it, he complained. While black radio hosts like Larry Young and Clarence Mitchell the fourth, offered people an opportunity to discuss the Carver incident, Chiatham said it was hard to find acknowledgement of it elsewhere. Current Baltimore Sun stories of the subject of suicide take other angles. See, and that's why they keep calling it suicide, because it makes the whole thing look different. knowing goddamn well ain't no black man hanging himself on a basketball court across the street from a high school. Get the fuck out of here with that bullshit. Current Baltimore Sun stories on the subject of suicide take other angles, such as an author's first-person account of her brother's suicide nearly a decade. Blah, blah, blah. I'm not even reading, acknowledging that bullshit. School's response lacking. Whitehead said she tried to be very careful on her show about separating fact from speculation and not using language irresponsibly. Well, call me motherfucking irresponsible. I was very wary about people using the word lynching and even read out the definition of it. I am tired. Why are we socialing around? We got our fucking family members hanging like strange fruit still. And we trying to fucking hop around and dance around the motherfucking subject talking about it's not a fucking lynching. It's a fucking lynching. Why are we afraid? Stop being afraid, black people. God damn it, I'm tired. Why are you so afraid? You fuck fighting. You can't even open your mouth and tell the truth and say what the fuck and call a fucking spade a spade? Are we that cowardice as people? That we sit there and look at our family members over and over and over and over and we can't even say the truth? God damn it. Even so, she said, the disturbing association for African American adults and children was unavoidable. It constituted one more trauma for people in the community that has endured so many. I cried on the air the other day, said Whitehead, recounting how a mother had called in to share how she had lost 2 boys to gun violence. We talking about gun violence? What the fuck? How do we do this? How do we do this? How do we accept responsibility when they are lynching us? How do we do this? There were nights, blah, blah. I'm not going to talk about the gun violence because this and that ain't got shit to do with each other. Unless y'all going to talk about how they bringing the guns into your community, or unless you want to talk about how they be putting on black people outfits, okay, putting on whole black skin and coming out of communities and purging. If you don't want to talk about that, don't tell me I'm not going to talk about this. I'm going to skip right on over all of this gun violence bullshit. Asked what the school could have done differently, some callers had argued that children should have been dismissed for the day. Whitehead said she was torn. The principal could have pulled everyone together and told what was known and given everyone an opportunity to share what they were feeling and process it, she said. Let me tell you something. Our children know you're not going to do a goddamn thing about it. You think these kids are stupid? Y'all walk around here acting like kids are dumb. I talk to your children. Your children sat in the office and talked to me for hours. I talk to y'all's kids. They are not stupid. They know what's going on in your house. They know what's going on between you and their father. They know what's going on between you and their mother. They know you got a new boyfriend. They know you got a new girlfriend. They know you got multiple girlfriends. All right? Stop trying to act like your kids don't know what the fuck is going on. And you sit there and bring in all these kids, and I've seen it myself. You bring all these kids into the auditorium and feed them bullshit. And then they come to my office and want to know the truth. Because they know that they just got told a bunch of bullshit. Now, if I was in a position where I couldn't tell it because it wasn't, good for the students, I'd be like, look, I honestly can't say what it is. But y'all know. And I just leave it like that. I can't go into details. But I'm not going to lie to you. But I can't tell you what happened. But I'm not going to. And the kids will respect me for that. That's why your kids left me. Because I didn't treat them like walking little idiots that don't have brains and can't think for themselves like they're little puppets. I treated them like little people. Growing people. Don't insult these kids' intelligence with fucking bullshit auditoriums where you sitting there just... the real me almost came out. Where you sitting there just... You know what I'm saying? Lying to them, pissing on their heads and telling them this rating. They don't feel safe. They took cell phone video. Man, I think I'm done. Yeah, I'm done with this article. Family, I never really ask y'all to share or tag people in videos. But I'm going to ask that if you know any spooks who sat by the door, don't just, tag anybody you want, your friends and stuff like that. Yeah. That's great. I'm all for that. But I have a specific request. If you know any spooks who sat by the door, Black people that have the same mind frame that we have, but they are in law enforcement or they are in, especially lawyers that want to fight for our people, not people who just want the check, but lawyers who actually fight for our people. I would like to get a network of more people like that, because a lot of you guys are reaching out to me about things behind the scenes that I know that me making a video really isn't going to do anything, because I don't have that kind of reach yet. You know what I'm saying? And my videos really are more to like make us aware of the really, really crazy shit, and then try to like teach us lessons. But I can't, like, if you notice, I can't talk about every single atrocity. That's why I have my stories and I just post things there, because it's just too much. There's too much. But what I would be willing to do is to put you guys in contact with each other so we can start helping each other. You understand what I'm saying? So if you know any spooks who sat by the door, you know what I'm saying, tag them in this video or DM them with this video. I understand if you can't tag them because you don't want to expose them, but DM them this video, copy the link, and send them the link outside or whatever, you know, whatever you got to do to make it secure for them. You know what I'm saying? But that way I could expand the network to help you guys more.